Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you got to watch a very serious portion of the president in Butler, Pennsylvania, in what is nothing short of a resounding, triumphant return to what would have been, think about this, the site of his assassination. Think about this. Think about this. Do you know what that is? When you're standing right where you were, and you've got to be cool, and you've got to be calm and collected, and you've got to make sure that nobody sees. I don't care what anybody says. You sat there, and you are there, and yet today the FBI somehow figured out how to work a slanted roof. There were sharpshooters. For some reason, this little slanted roof, they figured it out. My God. Navy SEALs, Delta Force, Marine snipers, recon, they hang upside down. They rappel from helicopters. They can shoot underwater blindfolded with a mirror. But the Secret Service told you they couldn't handle a slanted roof because that was just, I mean, come on, a slanted roof. What are you nuts? What are you kidding me? A slanted roof. Did you see today? Did you watch the president? Ladies and gentlemen, did you watch the president? This man was so, oh my God. Let me get the totem. Let us wax totemic. There he is, my friends. One of my proudest. This is an actual pen. This is the president's pen, part of my memorabilia. It was brilliant. It was brilliant. It was brilliant. It was brilliant. Oh, would you please stop with this nonsense? Atlas shrugged. Oh, God. You and this stupid Ayn Rand crap. Get over this selfishness, objectivism. Would you get a new story? Who's John Galt? Get over it. That is the most ridiculous. I have no reason to help other people. But, oh, stop it. She was a perv. You know it, and I know it. Stop with this. We need a new shtick. You need a new shtick. Don't tell me more. Hey, make sure you get a copy of. Yeah, I got a copy of this. Pay attention to what's going on right now. My God. How can some of you people be so smart and stuck in this intellectual backdraft? Ayn Rand. Oh, for God's sake. Sorry. Seeing that, I will never understand that. But let's move on. Did you see what the moment was? The greatest moment. Even MSDNC pulled away from this. Did you? Look who it is.
The only reason we can now send
Ayn Rand wouldn't understand this charity. Elon Musk, ladies and gentlemen. Elon Musk. Now I got to try to get some good. This was the moment. This is a man who believes in charity, philanthropy, beneficence, and not this Ayn Rand crap. Are you kidding me? What are you kidding me? This man is a saint. He's a savior, moving in to help, to care, to, oh my God. The whole notion of today's theme was sacrifice, philanthropy, beneficence, charity, helping, sacrifice for the betterment of the world. My God, thank God these people are there to do this. Thank God. He was absolutely magnificent or magnificent.
Is the only reason we can now send American astronauts into space. Come here. Take
Look at
over,
this.
Elon. Just take over.
Hi, everyone.
Absolutely rock star status. If ever there is an endorsement, ladies and gentlemen, I say to you, if there was an endorsement that mattered, that's the one. That's the one. MSDNC pulled away today to cover this. It's over unless they steal it fair and square. Even Lara Trump was saying, we're $500,000. Was it FBI? I don't know what she's talking about. Are you looking at the write-in ballots? Uncle Lenny's tired of talking about the same thing. Are you looking at the write-in ballots? You're going to have somebody there at the precincts with the glasses? I think we got a guy there with a serape. He's speaking Spanish. Later, all right. Pedro 1, move in. Is he voting? Do you think that's going to do it? The other day in North Carolina, 747,000 names purged. That's where it is. That's where you go. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, dear friend, I don't care what anybody says. This man, listen.
If people don't know what's going on, if they don't know the truth, how can you make an informed vote? You must have free speech in order to have democracy. That's why it's the First Amendment. And the Second Amendment is there to ensure that we have the First Amendment.
I think you know what that means. He was loving it. And everybody is trying to shut him down, and all these shadow government horrible rat bastards shutting him down. Hillary Clinton, John Kerry, doing everything in their power. He was the one who was responsible for the Twitter files. He was the one who let us know he was the one. This man. Let me tell you something. If anybody should worry, it's him. Unless he's got the goods on everybody else. Who else compares to him? What? That rat, slimy bastard, that Mark Cuban? Who? Who were the other philanthropists? Who were the other billionaires of note? Warren Buffett? What does he do? It's just about me, Berkshire. This guy is absolute beneficence. And you come up with this Ayn Rand crap. Objectivism. I think that the most important thing is for you to be selfish. Shut up, you hag. It's over. I don't know where did that come from? Alan Greenspan, but you know what I mean? We need some new methods, some new messages, my friend. Let me also tell you something. I don't know how to tell you this. I'm going to do my best. I'm going to say it again. I'm going to tell you this because I love you. And this is Uncle Lenny telling you this. If you don't go to Prepare with Lionel now, preparewithlionel.com, and start making a survival wish list. You've got Elon having to fly in to set up Starlink. They don't care for you. And God forbid something around your neck of the woods is of value. You hear that, Lahaina? Whatever happened to Lahaina? I don't know. We don't know. If you are in a position, let's say you're someplace where you have stores closed for one day, make it 7. Because when the you know what hits the fan and people start going crazy and hoarding and lining up and freaking out, you're going to be saying, why didn't I go to preparewithlionel.com, especially now when they're saying, look, here's an introductory deal just to make you feel okay. $50 you'll save on a 4-week emergency food supply. 4 weeks. This is just for you and your family. And you'll say, that's how easy it was. That's how easy it was. fast shipping. By the way, it's, believe it or not, it's also incognito. You get this stuff and it doesn't say like, emergency food. You don't want your neighbors knowing this because you know what's going to happen. I hate to be all Hunger Games on you, but if something goes wrong, they are coming at your door. Don't forget food, water, energy. The last one I can't help you with right now, but I think you know what I'm talking about. And Elon said it best, the First Amendment and the Second Amendment to protect that. We are talking about bleak and dark times. This is a man who, again, had to stand Starlink. There was no internet. There's not one person in the United States government who cares at all. $750 that you have to apply for. Prepare with Lionel.com. Emergency food. I don't have to say, I don't even know how to make this any clearer than that. You're smart. You know what I'm talking about. This is not about selling something. It's about you saving your life. Because let me tell you something. When it hits the fan, your government doesn't care anything about you. Let me say this again. This current iteration of government cares nothing about you. What happened? What happened? That would probably be okay with Ayn Rand, selfishness and the whole objectivism and all that kind of stuff. What happened? Where did this go? How does this work? Tell me, how stupid can this woman? Do you think she's stupid? If she's not stupid, I don't know. Then she's possessed or something. She's got to be stupid. If she's not stupid, how do you explain this behavior? It's a gimme. It's something that doesn't make any sense to me. Dear God, it doesn't make any sense. Old Buddha of wisdom says we need it to be too big to rig, the most important election in our life. We need it to be just one. And that's why everybody has got to make sure they vote. I think that goes without saying. But listen to me, listen to me, listen to me. Two great indicators of what's going on. Number one. Now remember, let's start off with the premise. You realize none of this makes any sense, right? What I'm telling you right now makes no sense. None of it makes any sense. None of it. Let me try this again. Let me see if I can explain this again to you. None of this makes any sense. All they would have to do is say, listen, here's a bunch of cash. We want you to go in. We're going to fly you in. You're going to wear some kind of jungle gym outfit. You and Doug, slappy. You're going to be out there handing out food, handing out gift certificates, doing whatever you have to do. You're going to be put on some duck boots, leave the Tiffany's jewelry at home. You're going to hug some people. You don't even have to say anything. Just hug people. Get that booty giggity off his ass to show up and do something. And I want you to have people with jackets on. And all you have to do is give us a photo op. Just give us one photo op. 10 minutes. We will repeat it. We will plaster it over everything from now until the end of time. That's all you have to do. Just do this. Why isn't she doing it? Why? You don't have to say anything. It's campaigning. Lyndon Johnson would say, I would give anything. I told you about Hurricane Betsy in 1965. I told you what he did. People love this. Chris Christie, it makes you. They don't do this. They keep talking about the Biden-Harris. There is no Biden. There is no Biden. Can anybody tell me why is she doing this? Now, Mrs. Ellen and I were discussing today, one of the things which is wonderful might be something to the effect which suggests that maybe she figures or they figure, look, we've got it. And we're going to win and we don't have to do this. That doesn't make any sense because at least you want to always look as though you're doing something. Politicians like looking like they're doing something. They don't even like to tell you they're doing bad. Tell me one program, one anything. Tell me what, and I'm serious. I'm going to ask you this question, and I'm dead serious. I'm not kidding around. Tell me one thing that the Democrats are going to win, or what they think they're going to win on. I'm dead serious. No jokes, no funny, no ha 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 ha. Oh. I'm serious. Tell me what their platform is. In the light most favorable to them, what is it? What are they going to win? What are they going to win? Tell me. Abortion. Okay, that's one. That's a good one. Greg, nothing. No, Greg, that's not the answer. The answer is not nothing. What's the answer? There are none. Abortion. Okay, that's one. I'm serious about this. Face is cheating. No, it's not cheating. I'm serious. I'm serious. What do you think it is? Okay, Lisa's good. Never Trump. Very good. Very good. We're going to win. Okay. Racism, Nightingale, maybe a little bit of that. Maybe. Trump bad. Yes. Hatred of Trump. Yes. Okay. So you're going to lure people into voting. You're going to lure people, and I'm serious. You're going to say, hey, listen, we want all of you to vote because you hate Trump. But I'm saying, but you know what? I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm just not going to vote for Trump. What do you say? I'm just not going to vote for Trump. No. We want you to vote for Kamala. No, it's like, you know what? I'm thinking about this. No, you're right. I hate Trump. I'm just not going to vote. That's what they're going to do. Do you think, I'm going to ask you a very serious question, and I'm going to ask it, and I want you to answer it truly, honestly, seriously. Do you truly believe, not the official answer, but do you truly believe that most American voters believe that Kamala Harris is African American like you did Barack Obama? Yes or no? Serious question. Serious question. I know other people have said, but do you really think? I'm serious about this because you've said before, well, it's a racial thing. You had Barack Obama and you had Michelle Obama. All right. So you had the nice family, 2 daughters, and you had 2 black people. All right, fine. And it was a black family. African American. No doubt about it. It never even came up. Do you really think that when people say, oh, they have to remind them, oh, yeah, that's right. Do you think this? White husband, weird Brooklyn stepdaughter, Asian background, fairly recently, even I don't even think she ever did any of the fake affectation, black soul voice thing. Do you? Do you really think so? I know. Now, it's interesting. Candace Owens, of course, had brought this up. I don't know how many people are watching. A lot of people are watching it. I don't know what effect that has. I truly don't. But I'm serious about something. And listen to my question. And follow it carefully. When Barack Obama ran, it was clearly, absolutely, positively, 100%. This is the first black president. And I feel good because I'm voting for a black president. Absolutely. It wasn't the only reason, but you felt it. Now you would be saying, well, this would be the first woman president. I think people absolutely have no problem in saying, yes, she identifies as a woman. Yes, she's a woman. But black, no. So in that respect, when you have tried to make the case, it's always over the top. patronizing, insincere, not real. Where is the feel? Do you remember when Barack Obama was the night of the victory? Jesse Jackson crying. Remember the black, there was a little, my gosh, this woman was like 4 feet tall, the black kind of a grandmother. She was like 3 feet tall. And the Obamas are very tall. And she walked in and she just, her heart broke. She wanted to hug the president and the first lady, because this was history. I'm telling you, you could not miss it. I don't see it here. It's not, the connection's not made. She never connected with this. It was whatever it was, because she never ever acknowledged it, thought about it, cared about it until recently when somebody says, oh yeah, technically we're going to do this. Woman, yes. Do you feel when Hillary Clinton was running, say what you want about Hillary, say what you want, you can laugh about her, you can do whatever you want, say what you want about Hillary. Do you feel that, and there were people who thought she is definitely, absolutely the first woman president. No doubt about it, right? She is absolutely, no doubt about it. And there were people who really liked the fact she was the first woman. Do you feel this with Kamala? No. With Kamala? No. Is there anything? And I'm not, it sounds like I'm just being mean. I'm not. Is there anything? What is the draw? David Axelrod, James Carville are freaking out. She's not campaigning. They don't understand this. They're putting the word out. They're trying everything. They're doing that January 6th business. There is no connection there. When you watch Trump, when you see what's going on, you see this phantasmagoric connection. Freedom says this will be life-changing for all of us, rich or poor. If Donald J. Trump does not become our commander-in-chief, we won't have a country left if wacko wins. Could not have said it better myself. This is existential. This is life-threatening. This is the diagnosis. The diagnosis. Our country has a form of a cancer. And there are two things. Number one, surgery to remove it. That's the election. But then there's the follow-up. There's the chemo and the radiation, and that's what Donald Trump is. It's not just enough to win. He's got to set the policies. We need something so drastic. A couple of things I've said to you, which is important. Number one, Uncle Lenny speaks again. Let me explain to you elections. Take all of what you think, throw it out the window. Take your Ayn Rand, get rid of it. Nobody's paying attention. The Federal Reserve, nobody's listening to that stuff. That's great. New World Order. We can talk about that. You want to talk about that? Doesn't matter. We have a brand new situation, brand new audience, brand new group here. Number one, there are people who are going to vote for Trump no matter what. And number two, there are people who are going to vote against Trump no matter what. So in the middle, we have these people, in the middle of the Gaussian curve, these people who represent sort of there. And it is 30 days. It is 1 month from today. And by the way, I'm going to be at the cutting room, the 26th of October, 10 days. This would be the last time that you and I maybe get the chance to be together while living in a free country. Okay? Because let me tell you something. Be not mistaken. Strike that. Forget I said that. If through some disaster scenario, if this dingbat wins, or is selected, you will not wake up the next day and see tanks running down the street or barreling down the street. You won't see that. It won't be like that. The changes that will happen to your country are systematic, slow, deliberate, very scary in the courts, social, etc. The BitBlock says 1 month from today, we take our country back, Uncle Lenny. Let's give her hell. Absolutely. It can be done. Because remember, there is no room for this. None. When Elon Musk stands before this, he is right now, listen to me, and I hate to use these terms because there's a word I use, I will not use, but I will use it for him. He is the coolest person alive today. The coolest person, the most chops, owns X, SpaceX, Neuralink. I mean, there is nobody. Mark Cuban, this jadrul. Bill Gates, this Beeb, walking around wanting people to eat bugs and get jabbed and whatever it is. There is no one in the intelligentsia, cognoscenti, billionaire, nobody like him. Nobody. Steve Jobs was kind of maybe like that sort of. This is a rock star. This is what the closest might be Howard Hughes. Ladies and gentlemen, Howard Hughes. Remember that? Billionaire, exotic, romantic pilot, owned, the movie companies. And who was it? Dorothy Lamour, whoever it was. This is the guy who, when they told him, you have to move out of this hotel. He said, but I like this hotel. You have to move out. He goes, I'll buy the hotel. He bought it so he didn't have to move out. And then he was the one who kind of changed the complexion of Las Vegas, kind of away from the old Bugsy Siegel days. Think about it. There's nobody like him. I'm going to go back and remind you of something. What's Batman? Batman was a millionaire, whatever, Bruce Wayne, right? There's always these. Isn't Captain or Iron Man like that? I don't even know the story about that. Where he's a scientist or something. He turns into Iron Man. Think about this. Think about the story. Who today is like Elon Musk? Who? What? Alec Baldwin? No. Who? Nobody. Trump is, is a billionaire. Okay, Trump. But so here is this guy. He flies in there in Butler, Pennsylvania, the richest man in the world, wearing his black MAGA hat. And he basically says, you got to do this. He's saying to everybody, I'm putting my life on the line too. Lisa says, you say DJT is chemotherapy, but America is at stage 4. Chemo doesn't cure at that stage. It only buys some time. I hope I'm wrong. No, it's not stage 4. Sorry. No, it's not stage 4. By the way, as if interesting, the difference between that and gliomas, stage versus grade. No, we are not. No. Sorry. It will take so much time, dear Lisa, to undo what was done. But here's the story. I don't care. We don't have any choice here. The best news is tonight, when MSDNC breaks away, and there are these crowds, and let's assume, for the sake of argument, arguendo, that there is this fool living somewhere. This fool, imagine this fool living somewhere who does not know anything about Trump or knows what's going on. Who maybe is someplace, maybe without food. Maybe somebody who didn't know about preparewithlionel.com in any event. And they look, and MSDNC breaks through and says, what is this? What is this? Look at these crowds. All of those people, none of them had to be bussed in. None of them. There is nothing as there's nothing artificial about this. Wouldn't you love to sit there? Wouldn't you love to sit there? Oh, you have no idea the dreams. The absolute dream of being able to sit down with Kamala. Actually, believe it or not, she's a little bit better because she's kind of got maybe the laugh thing. I don't know. But doofus, cerebral Walsey, this guy, Tampon Timmy, I don't know who'd be better. But as they sit down there, wouldn't you love to ask them, I have a question, yes. How stupid do you think the American voter is? Pause, wait, answer the question. Don't laugh. It's not funny, Missy. How stupid do you think the American public is? What? You've never answered one question. Neither you or Doofus here, Mr. Jazz Hands. What did you know and when did you know it about Joe being arrebatado? When did you know it? Now, we know this now, but you were there before. And you know how every organization works, where people sort of talk, and you're the vice president, for God's sake. Or maybe you were so disconnected from reality, you honestly didn't know. Maybe. When did you know this? When did you know this? When did you think it was a good idea to defund the police? When did you think that? You've got people right now in parts of the country, sectors of the country, there's no first responders, there's no police, there's no fire, there's no nothing. You were the only person on the planet who actually believes that removing protection, removing law enforcement benefits. When did you think that? I'll wait. Take your time. And don't change the subject and don't laugh. Answer my question. Who told you to say this? Now, I know you're a prosecutor and attorney general and you fought cartels and all this other bullshit you told her. I understand this. But when did you come up with the idea that it was a good idea, that it made a lot of sense for you to suggest openly, not only let's stop the enforcement, and during that complete and total attempt at disrupting and destroying the country, that Black Lives Matter nonsense, after you through this apotheosis of this drug addicted opioid ODing thug George Floyd, that you elevated and beatified as some kind of Latter-day Saint for reasons I will never know. When did you think, as a prosecutor with this extensive background, you were just fighting the cartels, you and El Chapo and the Sinaloa cartel, we have to do something about it, Kamala Harris, for me. And yet, after that, you decided, I'm going to do nothing. Same thing goes for you, Timmy. You were either a command sergeant major or a master sergeant. You're the only one in the National Guard who didn't know this, who, by the way, bailed on his troops before you slogged it out in the dark, dank, deep denizens or dampness and destitute, the detritus, I'm being alliterative here, of Italy, where you fought for America in Italy as you prepared or whatever it was. But Minnesota needed your leadership, needed the National Guard, of which you served for 24 years. And you decided, nah, Who told you to do that? Because I know you didn't think this on yourself. I know you said, hey, honey, guess what? Yeah. Is it IVF or IUI? Anyway, I always get these letters because I'm a knucklehead. I'm a knucklehead. When did you think it was a good idea to not do that? When your wife opened the windows and could smell burning tire. Remember that? What was that about? How does this work? And listen, que mala. I'm going to ask you a question. You know, they say that, you're going after Melania a lot. Now now she's got to remember. They asked her about they're busting her chops, saying she was very upset. They were claiming that Barron is autistic. Started from that thing, that she wolf or whatever this thing is, Rosie O'Donnell. But you went after her, went after everything about her past, this and that. You guys thought it was terrific. Well, let's talk about Doug. Slappy knocks up the nanny, and then basically, knocks you up or knocks you down. What does he do? Slapping a woman in front, a lot of witnesses. Don't you think that means something? You went after Melania. Nobody cares about that. He came in hot, just love bombed her. And then when she goes up to some guy in a line and says, excuse me, here's a couple of bucks. Can you maybe get us in line? Doug sees her put his hand on somebody, goes bananas and slaps. What is going on here? This is the weirdest thing I've ever seen in my life. And you, how can you do? I mean, wouldn't you love for some? What would she say? She would wither on the vine. She would look like a bug over a match. And the very thing is that these rat bastards who years ago used to, I think, enjoyed some modicum of self-respect when they claimed to be journalists, not anymore. Ladies and gentlemen, he goes by the name Mel Cooley, played by Richard Deacon. Doug is a woman beater for sure. Well, that's what people say, Mel. He'll knock you up or knock you down. Slappy. Remember that? Slappy. That's him. Whatever happened to Rachel Levine? Where is she? Remember that one? Remember the first time? Remember when you saw, hello, I'm Rachel Levine. What the hell is this? Come on. This is a joke. What? Remember that? This is the one. I don't know if she has health or whatever. She wore the Admiral. She said, I'm Dr. Rachel Levine. Okay. This is okay. Somebody's messing with me. All right. Okay. I admit. Okay. You got me. Now, seriously, who is this? What is this? What is this? No, seriously, what is this? Oh, I know you stop talking like that. I know you're supposed to put you're a woman. Okay, fine. Who is this? Remember when you thought that? Remember at first when you started to say, what the hell's going on here? Can you imagine doing Ronald Reagan? Well, Mr. Reagan, yes, I'd like you to meet our nominee for the new head of health and whatever it is, Rachel Levine. What? Yeah, it's a man, it's a woman transitioning, it's a trans. What? You heard me? No way, Mr. President, please. But Biden said, this is fantastic. I love this. Remember when you first saw it? You know what I'm talking about. You said, oh my God. Oh my God. What, no, seriously. What if you have, do you have a name? What was a nickname? What was the nickname of your grandmother or grandfather? Everybody's got a nickname. Pawpaw, me, mom. It's always mom, dad, daddy. But when it comes to grandparents, and let's assume they passed on, God, bless their heart. God rest their soul. But you have to have a name for them. Pawpaw, mama, Ninu, whatever. And if somehow they said, oh, grandpop, there we go. So everybody's got a name. Thank you, Spitfire. Everybody's got a name for it. That's the best part of being a grandfather. They give you a name. And normally it's the kid. Oh, you know about the Sean Atwood? Yeah, Sean Atwood. He's a good friend of mine. I'm going to be on with Sean next Tuesday. Very good. Good man, Shawnee boy. Good man. Anyway, if you said, "Hey, Grandpa," yeah, hi, hello there. Listen, it's glad to talk to you. Well, that's okay. Pretty cool, huh? Yeah. Elon has this thing called Skylink. We talk to people. Really? Yes. So Grandpa says, "What have I missed?" Oh, well, you died about 20 years ago. And, well, here's one for you. Have you seen this, Grandpa? Who's that? That's Rachel Levine. Who? This is Rachel Levine. Is that a man? Well, you'll sort of, but not, well, it's hard to say. That's a trans woman. A what? Yeah, lots changed, Grandpa. This is a, listen to her. Hello, I swear to God. Is this a joke? Granddad, I'm telling you, it's not a joke. It's not a joke. I'm telling you. This is what you've missed. I don't know why they did this. They just do. Oh, but here's another one. Sit down. You ready for this? Okay, look at this guy. Look at this dude. This is Leah Thomas. That's a man. He's a swimmer. He's like 6'4". By the time he jumps in the pool, he's halfway down the he competes against women. Women in swimming. What? I swear to God. I don't know what's going on. I have no idea. Look at this. How about the gimp in the dog mask? Okay. Now, the next one, this is like, what are we talking about? Remember the guy Cooper? Remember the first week? The first week of the Biden said, "Hello, I'm Cooper." Remember, you go, "What is this?" RuPaul looks like Robert Mitchum compared to this guy. Who is this? He had the fingernails, and he's not even trans. He's just gay, which is okay. But I'm sorry, this is like kind of overdone. Who are these people? I don't know. This is Cooper. Grandpa says, "Why are they doing this?" I don't know. What do you mean? I don't know. And they don't stop. And it keeps going on and going on. It goes on. Hey, Grandpa, we want to see something neat? What is it? This is called Twitter or X or a TikTok. Really? Yeah. Oh, yes, you're right. The guy that stole the red dress. Oh my God, the CR. You're right. Remember that? The bald-headed dude who stole the dress at the airport. He's bald as a woman with a beard. Okay. How about the fellow who shows up your grandpa would say, "Now listen, I haven't seen you in a while, but I don't appreciate you lying to me." Granddad, I'm not lying to you. They wouldn't do this. Yes. Yes. Are you ready for this? Oh, yeah. Who's this? George Floyd. Oh, you're going to love this one. Oh, you're going to love this one. St. George. It's un, you, you know, and Granddad, what is it? Oh, no, no, no. Granddad, you remember at the end, sort of, when you were kind of like, well, you weren't as sharp as you've been. Yeah, I remember that. Well, don't feel bad. Here's somebody who makes you then, at your worst, let's be honest with you, look like Edward Whitten. This is Joe Biden. That Joe Biden? Yeah, he's a president. No, I swear to God, he's the president. This is him at the end. What? I don't know. That's Joe Biden. Andrew Hessing says, "I know you don't like Gutfeld. He had Jillian Michaels on the Democrat voter for years. Made a point. She asked, when did Biden become the second coming? 94 crime bill eulogy for Strom Thurmond hated. Oh, Strom Thurmond hated him. Listen, Gutfeld's okay. It's just okay. It's like hee-haw. I don't need him. I want analysis. Here we go. Let me stop right there. How many of you notice this? Explain this one to me. I know I'm not supposed to ask this, but I bet. Eric Trump, who I think is just, notice how Don Jr. is nowhere to be found. ever since the Kimberly thing. Either she's going to drop some massive files of him, squatting over a cactus or wearing a dress, or who knows. But she is, she's so pissed off after the allegations that Don Jr. and the socialite in Palm Beach were, doing the nasty. In any event, tonight Eric is saying, and what about the problem that we're giving all this money to Ukraine? Yeah. Are we giving tens of a billion over here? Yeah. And when it go about Iran, who's yelling, kill America. Yes, go on, Eric. There's one other country you're leaving out. We're giving 80, 100 billion dollars and bombs. I mean, we're giving, but 2,000-pound bombs. Eric, are you going to mention that? No. Eric, come on, be consistent. Just saying. I think starts with an I. You can say it. No. Come on, you're not being fair. How do you do this? I have friends of mine. Friends. Love them. Pro-Israel. 100%. No problem. We're still friends. My question is, be 100% Israel after we're 100% American. When that runs out and we got it all taken care of, now, what do we have left over? Okay, then you can have fun. You follow me on that one? Bibi, Zelensky, everybody else, we'll get to you as soon as we take care of this first. Okay? You as a parent are going to take care of your kids before you take care of the neighbors. This is the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen in my life. And it's going to hit the fan. And I'm sorry, but in 2 days, on October the 7th, I'm not going to be anywhere near outside. No way. No. Now, you notice we don't talk about this because there's 3 things that people in my group, I'm sorry, but I'm going to tell you right now. Number 1 is Israel. Number 2 is Ukraine. And number 3 is AI. JT says, Google search. Okay. I don't know what that means, but thank you so much for that. I don't want to announce things out for algorithmic reasons. It's the strangest thing. We live in these really weird world. You've seen this. I can't type. Our good friend Sparky couldn't put the word good in. He was trying to type, that's good. He has to put doog. Good was somehow not. By the way, 8:30 tonight, Mrs. L live on Lynn's Warriors. Okay? 8:30. 8:30. You got it? After we're done with here, straight over there. Oh, wait till you see what she's got to say. 2 stories which are really interesting. Two stories. Let me give you this one right here. This is the first one. One is, of course, Diddy. Oh, God. Oh, my God. Hang on. This is her link right there. Lynn's Warriors on YouTube. That's the link, my friends. Just go there and sign up immediately. 2 stories. Menendez brothers had it. They were so screwed up. That family, they were so abused. Remember Leslie Abramson? Remember his name? Remember the one with the curly hair? Whatever happened? Now, Kim Kardashian, old Miss Diatopagia, is now trying to weigh in, and that's saying a lot because she's a lawyer. But the 2 Menendez brothers are going to end up getting out. They're going to get time served, credit for time served, and pardon. Watch what happens. Because they're all messed up, and they're miserable people, but they were absolutely abused. And each other. I mean, it is a mess. So keep in mind, that's going to be interesting. And the next one is Diddy. Okay? Now, the number 1 guy to watch, and I want you to listen very, very carefully, is this guy named Diddy. And I also got turned on to a feller named Tom McDonald. You ever heard him, the Canadian rapper? Someone today, Miss Torres. I was doing a Lionel Legal live, and she turned me on to this feller, this dude, and this guy with the diamond teeth and the face and the, my God, hardcore MAGA rapper. He's in the MAGA rap, a Trumpist subgenre of hip hop. Tom MacDonald. And in the blackness world of negritude comedy, number one, Cat Williams. Cat Williams is going to own it. I love Eddie Griffin, Monique, who's on it. They on their best day. See, Gutfeld, listen, with all due respect, lightweight, low hanging fruit. It's okay. He's like Bill Maher for the right. You know what I mean? You don't sit there and say, wow, I never thought about that. There's nothing. Look, comedy is dead. Just give me a second on this one. And the reason why is simply this. Number one, we don't have really good comedians because people are becoming more and more unfunny, miserable. There is no sense of humor. Do you know what people don't do anymore? Jokes. If we sat around and said, who can tell the most jokes? But I think I might do okay by category. Gorillas, bar jokes, two guys walking into a bar, puns, animals, wives, jobs, but different categories that you hear because we used to tell jokes and people don't tell jokes anymore. That's number one. Number two, the notion of comedy. In as much as, well, there was a time when comedy meant something. Mort Saul, Lenny Bruce, Bill Hicks, George Carlin. These were serious. Dick Gregory. Dick Gregory was. And I was on time, open one time for Dick Gregory, Mort Saul, and Robert Klein. And Robert Klein was a genius before he got so woked out or left it out. I don't know. I got very angry. Very, 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 sadly, very angry. Very angry. But still truly one of the most brilliant practitioners during his time. But they really spoke to it. George Carlin. Who is a George Carlin today? No one. You know who it is? Joe Rogan. Now, interestingly enough, Joe Rogan, I've not really seen his comedy. I've seen some of it. It's okay. What Joe Rogan does in conversational form is more entertaining than any, quote, comedian or any comedy act you can imagine. Cat Williams is a purveyor of something called black urban comedy. Remember there was, what was that show called, honey? Remember it was a black comedy called something HBO. What was it called? Oh God. Comedy Jam or something. There was a name for it. It was black comics. Yeah, Def Comedy. Def Comedy. Okay. Def Comedy Jam. I used to do stand-up at the greatest comedy club in the world. It was Rascals in West Orange. Mark Magnuson was the owner. It was aggressive. Mom's Mabley, by the way, was so good. She did this one joke, Pilgrim. I don't want to say jokes, but she says, I was on the bench one day and a man came up and said, give me your money. She said, I ain't got no money. So he starts grabbing my breast. He said, I ain't got no money. And he puts his hand down my pants. He said, I ain't got no money. And he put his hands on my leg. She says, I ain't got no money. But if you keep that up, I'll write you a check. Anyway, so that was, honey, that was funny. That wasn't gross. That actually made sense. She was funny. Pigmeat Markham. Remember Slappy White, Chitlin Circuit? Red Fox. Oh, dear God. Fred Sanford, I think, was his brother. Anyway. So one day at Rascals, there was Def Comedy Jam or something like that. It was the most exciting, uh, wonderfully artistically vile, sexual, filthy, funny, dirty. I loved it. Who did we have? Ready for this? Andrew Dice Clay. That's it. When I say we, I don't know who we are, but Andrew Dice Clay. Andrew Dice Clay came out doing the same routine. Little Boy Blue. You know the routine. Little Miss Muffet sat on the tuffet. And he filled arenas, banned for HBO, for nothing. It was so bland. And it was just nothing, but it was like there was nothing. Okay, switch over. Listen to Cat Williams. Listen to some of those. This is on fire. This is for the laughs. Thanks. Thank you, Leslie Watson. Richard Pryor, my friend and I went to the Tampa High Life Fronton to see Richard Pryor. We were the only, it might have been either right after, I don't know. He was doing a movie called Bingo Long. Let me see this. Bingo Long, and he had this weird pomade in his hair. Bingo Long. Yeah, Bingo Long is traveling. This was in 1976. Wow. So I must have been either in high school or I graduated in 76. It came out in 76, but he was making it. And he had this weird weave or jerry or something. He had this, whatever it was, pomade or. So anyway, we're at the High Life Fronton. And by the way, the Fronton is a particular name for those who watch High Life. There's stadiums, stadia, parks, down whatever, but a High Life Fronton. Anyway, so there we are. I was with my friend Sam, and we're sitting there, and I didn't notice. I said, "Have you noticed that we're the only white people here?" And we looked around, and I don't know if his famous. Remember when his that? Oh yeah, you're right. That N is crazy. Remember that was 1974. Okay, so that had come out. All right, fine. So we were there, and I thought this is very odd, but we didn't think anything of it. It's no big deal. So we're looking around, and we're sitting there, and the lights came down, and here comes Richard Pryor. And all of a sudden, the lights are on me and my friend Sam, right there. And we obviously have been spotted. And he said, "See, and you all travel in groups too," or something like that. Anyway, Richard Pryor was a storytelling genius, master of voices, master of mimicry, master of storytelling, one of the last of the absolutely incredible. Cat Williams did a routine recently. You might have seen it about Diddy and the oil and the Costco and the whatever it is. And with all due respect, again, this is meant no harm by Gutfeld or whatever it is. That is just like, VFW hall humor. Obvious, low-hanging fruit, nothing, sarcastic. That's okay. And if you like it, God bless you. Remember one thing. There was a time in our country when Milton Berle was considered the funniest man on the planet. Milton Berle. I don't know why. Milton Berle was considered a genius. I will never understand that as long as I live. But it was true. Rudy Valley. I'm just a vagabond. Chicks swooned over Rudy Valley. I'm just a vagabond. Don't ask me why. Okay. Cat Williams is the definitive voice regarding this. And Eddie Griffin. Eddie Griffin is the there's another one too. Another one. Another black comic I love. He is just I can't even tell you. Eddie Griffin, and let me see. There was some other. What was his name? There's this young man now. He lost weight. I'll think of his name. I gotta find his name. Anyway, make a long story short, this is changing, and what you're hearing right now is we saw it specifically in the Word in the time during the time when Cat Williams and Shannon Sharp were on together. That changed everything. He then he got too stoned and went on Joe Rogan, and that was a waste of time. I don't know if they told him to calm it down or whatever it was, but he was absolutely, it was such a disappointment. I couldn't believe what I was hearing because he was gassed out of his mind. But when he gave him a couple of drinks, we're in the middle right now of peeling the scab off of this pustule cause called, he used to call it the New World Order. I call it the shadow government, and it's the people who have completely commandeered and kidnapped the entertainment world. And when you get to that, my friend, when you get to that, you fixed everything. Do you hear what I'm saying? And listen to what I'm saying. And let me explain this to you. Diddy is going to be the biggest thing. Name a name. Throw out names. Barack Obama. Denzel Washington. Not that they're involved in it, but their names are going to be within the orbit of this world. Go down the world. Oprah, Tyler Perry, Cat Williams, Kevin, what's his name? Kevin Hart or Kevin. Oh, I mean, just get ready for this. Steve Harvey. Go down the list. Watch and listen again to Cat Williams, and they'll throw out names it doesn't matter, but I have never heard of. But everybody, because I don't particularly follow this particular genre of entertainment, this is going to explode everything. The fellow whose name begins with the fifth letter, who had the island, is nothing compared to this. Nothing. And that's why this man who's now facing what? 33,120 lawsuits, they're going to go crazy. And listen to what I'm saying, as long as he is with us, this investigation will keep going. Because when you have depositions, and I was at a party, and here's who was there, and this is a picture, and he did this, and who owned it, and and is it Clive Davis? I'm just saying, you're going to hear names, you're going to hear so much stuff, and as long as he is around, as long as he is a part of this, then the case goes on. If something were to happen, God forbid, if something were to happen that he could not finish this particular trial or this case because of whatever situation that might befall him, everything stops and the inquiry stops as well. Daniel says, I cooked for Kay Ballard in Rancho Mirage. I loved Kay Ballard. She had she's Italian. I remember her real name. Anyway, I miss old Hollywood and knew so many who knew Hutton, Vanderbilt, Monroe. Too many to name. I've even spoken with Gene Phillips several times. Hollywood now is trash. Absolutely. Daniel, did you ever read the story of, what's his name, honey? Scotty who? Not Scotty Moore. That's Elvis's guitar player. Scotty. I'll do it right now. No, Scotty Bowers. Go see Scotty and the Secret History of Hollywood. Please, please. Let me just say a name. Let me just say a name to people who know. Okay? Let me just say a name. Merv Griffin. Now, when I know people, when I meet people, you know how you have tests? You know how you do, sometimes you'll do things and you'll say, oh, this is my friend, and he's into conspiracies. Oh, really? And you said, what's DARPA? And if he said, I don't know, get him. What's HARP? HAARP. What's that? Get out of here. You know how you have these litmus tests? Okay, good. If somebody says, as you said, and this is very interesting, but if somebody were to say, okay, Daniel, oh yes, Pryor's Mudbone stories. Yes, I know. His ability to do voices were incredible. But if you said Merv Griffin, unbelievable. Playboy, Hugh Hefner. Now that may not surprise you. Let's go back. Clara Bow. I heard some Clark Gable stories. Oh my. Uh, um, Judy Garland. Oh God, I can't even say it. I can't even say it. By the way, special little timeout. Did one of the best things today ever. Today, Mrs. Ellen and I decided to go, and there was a wonderful, wonderful Indian restaurant that has been in the hood for the longest time. And she said, I said, let's go out and patronize the neighborhood. And it was the most incredible stuff. I can't explain. It was just wonderful. Naan and just terrific with the spicy stuff. I felt when I got done like I was going to explode. Okay, then as we're walking back, saw one of the best things today, which rekindles my faith in things. One of them is music. Thank God for that. Seeing young people who are very, very important. Oh, did you see what is his name? There's a young man I like quite a bit, Scott Pressler. Scott Pressler was there working so hard, crisscrossing Pennsylvania to register votes. A real worker. Absolutely a worker. This is so funny. At the bottom of Google, at Google, on my it says here, and you put in a name as a Scott Pressler. At the bottom it says people also search for, ready for this? This is what it says. I'm not kidding you. I just noticed. It says Charlie Kirk, Jack Probiotic or Posobiec, Lara Trump, and Cat Turd. This is, I swear to you, how beautiful. So anyway, as we are moving about, and as we're enjoying the time and doing our stuff and all this, on a street, it was devoted today to animals and pets. And there was this street kind of in the hood. It was just from one end to the other. It was one of the most wonderful events ever. People with dogs. They had adoptive dog things there. They had what would you call that? Adoptive pet treats, pet vets. It's redundant. Pet clothing. They had food and face painting and this usual. Johnny Maz says, thank you for wonderful leaving as always. I'm still laughing from your opening about the Secret Service and the FBI about the roof made my night, which is true. Thank you very much. It was so wonderful. They had these I don't know if they're Chinese. I don't know what they were. I couldn't tell, but they had these wonderful fruits on a stick in some kind of like a syrupy. It's incredible food. And there were people. We saw black people. We saw white people. We saw people with tattoos. We saw people without tattoos. We saw people that I thought were gay. Doesn't matter. People who were maybe trans, maybe not. I don't know. People with hats from foreign countries. People speaking different languages. All of them there, dig in the afternoon. The weather was beautiful, 72 degrees, dogs and bulldogs and this and that and adopted pets, and people just getting along. It was a New York, it was beautiful. Kids with dogs, kids with puppies. It's wonderful. And it reminded me that humans are a good folk and that we are a good people. Deep down inside, let us alone, leave us alone, and we'll do just fine. Good people. We'll help you, but don't mess with us. Don't do it. And it made me think, how many of these people truly, honestly enjoyed the afternoon, and how many of them realized that if they were to allow the chance of that fool, Gaimala, and it's not so much her, but the people who tell her what to do, what it would mean to our civilization. In any event, we're a good country. We're a good people. We really are. We love different people. I'm telling you, you can walk down 9th Avenue, and so help me God, it looks like you want Thai, you want Indian. They had Druze food. Afghan is down the street, Chinese everywhere, Mexican, Cuban, Peruvian. Just different languages, different. You can hear it everywhere. Wonderful. Everybody, I think they're. Oh, and by the way, all the delivery, all the people doing the dishes, all them foreign, South American or Mexican. I don't know. So I've got no problem. So the idea of heterogeneity is a wonderful thing. Immigrants, but that's not a problem. Opening the floodgates, letting people pour in, handing them hundreds of millions and billions of dollars so that they will agree to vote Democratic? No. Don't say replacement. Call it displacement. And how dare these people say that we're racist? How dare they say that we're against people of color? It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. In any event, I thank you. Now, you know what you're going to do right now, right? First of all, Johnny Mazda Spaz, thank you. Daniel, Pilgrim Media, Leslie Watson, JTE, Andrew Hessing, CR, thank you. Spitfire, Mel, Lisa PM, The Bit Block, Freedom, and Old Buddha of Wisdom. I thank you for that. Make sure you also remember a couple of things too. Our dear friends, Mike Lindell at, of course, mypillow.com. mypillow.com, promo code Lionel. mypillow.com/promo code Lionel. And I'm going to say it again. I'm going to say it till you understand the severity and the necessity and the criticality of this. Preparewithlionel.com. To get you going, there's a $50 discount on a 4-week emergency food supply. Disaster is looming. And if you don't think it's true, there's a whole bunch of North Carolinians who will say, we thought the same thing. And it's not so much because of the fact that it's weather, but the fact that the government did nothing to help. So that's preparewithlionel.com. All this information, all of the ads, all of the links are in the description section of this. All right, my friends, I thank you. Thank you for being with us. Remember, Mrs. L coming up at Lynn's Warriors. Make sure you go right now, right this moment, and get ready. She'll be there at 8:30, and we're going to continue the fun and the frolic and this fete, as it were, until then. All right, I love you. God bless America. Thank you, President Trump. Remember, vote early, vote often. We will talk to you tomorrow at 8 a.m. And until then, my friends, remember this, as I always say, the monkey's dead. The show's over. Sue ya. Dad.